it's Victoria. Today, we are going to be going through every single category for the 2025 WWE Slammy Awards. For those who don't know what the Slammies are, it is basically a fan-voted award show that happens every year during WrestleMania weekend, and voting is officially open. Now, last year, I made a very similar video to this for 2024, but now we've got all new categories, all new nominees, and I'm very excited to go through all of them and vote. If you want to vote for yourself, I will leave the link in my description box to go to WWE's website where you can vote directly there. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell so you never miss another video, and follow me. It's Victoria Daisy, ever you can find me, but let's start voting. All right, I'm on the WWE website on the Slammies page, ready to go to vote. So let's start off with the very first category. We have Female Superstar of the Year, and the nominees are Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Bayley, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, and Io Sky. When you are looking at these polls, you have to take into account that it's not just 2025 you're looking at the entirety of 2024. Similar to last year, we looked at the bit we had of 2024, but voted mainly on 2023. And so now we're voting mainly on 2024, and I guess you could say the chunk that we have so far of 2025. Now, with that in mind, when looking at this list, there is a clear standout for me. And even though I'm wearing a Rhea Ripley shirt, it is not going to be Rhea Ripley. It's actually her enemy, Liv Morgan. When you think about the year that Liv Morgan had, it is unlike any other female in that locker room, even Rhea Ripley. Liv Morgan, injured Rhea Ripley, went on to have the most dominant run we've seen since Rhea's original title reign as WWE Women's World Champion. And then when she came back, had an absolutely impeccable storyline with Rhea that ended at the Raw on Netflix debut. And so when looking at, like I said, the year that Liv Morgan had, it is a no-brainer to me that she is my pick for Female Superstar of the Year. So let's submit that, lock that in. All right, next we have Male Superstar of the Year. We got Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Gunther, CM Punk, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, and Seth Rollins. Now, these are all very strong contenders. Now, when it comes to something like this, I have to do process of elimination if I don't have an immediate standout, because it's going to be very hard otherwise. So Gunther, I'm going to take him out. As much as I love CM Punk with my life, I will take him out. Same with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. I think truly it comes down for me for Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Jey Uso. Obviously, Jey Uso has had the run of his life, and it's not even over. He has yet to win the title. We are on the way for him winning the title. Now, as much as I really want to say Jey, it's really between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. But I think the clear winner here is Cody Rhodes. I mean, WrestleMania 40 was solely revolving around his main event match, and the buildup he had was unbelievable. And so, you know what? Cody's done phenomenal, and I'm confident giving him my vote. All right, next we have the category of Most Memorable Entrance. So here are the nominees. We got Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, Jey Uso on Raw on the Netflix debut with Travis Scott, Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, The Rock at WrestleMania, Bayley at WrestleMania, Randy Orton at WWE Bash in Berlin, Seth Rollins at WrestleMania with the Philadelphia Mummers Band, Sami Zayn in Montreal with Jey Uso, Sami Zayn at WrestleMania with Kevin Owens and Chad Gable, Logan Paul at SummerSlam with MGK, Dominic Mysterio at WWE Bad Blood with Liv Morgan in the Lowrider, and finally Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. Now, entrances are so important to a wrestler because it is their first impression to the people. It's how they are presenting themselves. And if you have a whack entrance like Seth Rollins at WrestleMania last year, then it's really not going to excite me much. I hated that entrance with my life. It was too overstimulating. I couldn't do it. But there are a couple standouts for me here. Obviously, Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, he was going into battle. He was getting ready for a war, and his entrance completely exemplified that. And it was bone-chilling, to say the least. Now, Jey Uso on the Raw Netflix debut with Travis Scott was the most electric entrance I think I have seen in a while. And a couple other standouts were Dominic Mysterio at Bad Blood with Liv in the Lowrider. I really did enjoy that one. The Rock and not Roman. I'm honestly not that crazy about Roman's entrances at WrestleMania just because I feel like they kind of do them a little strange. Now, for me, it really comes down to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania and then Jey Uso on the Raw Netflix debut with Travis Scott. I mean, both of these entrances were phenomenal, but I think when we really break it down to just the entrance, I mean, come on. How else could I not pick the Yeet Master himself, Jey Uso? He's getting my vote. I mean, that was a very electric entrance, same as all his other ones. But of course, the Raw Netflix debut was just such a big show. And having Travis Scott there to play Fiend and then, play his entrance and just have a superstar next to a superstar was just so cool. So he is getting my vote for this category. Next, we have OMG Moment of the Year. So here are the nominees. We have Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns match finish at WrestleMania. Dominic Mysterio turning on Rhea Ripley with Liv Morgan at SummerSlam. Kevin Owens turning on Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes in October. New Day turning on Big E on Raw. Tiffany Stratton's Money in the Bank cash-in on Nia Jax on SmackDown. Damian Priest's Money in the Bank cash-in on Drew McIntyre WrestleMania. Wyatt Six debut on Raw. Braun Breaker spearing ISHO Speed at the Royal Rumble. Bronson Reed hitting a tsunami on Braun Strowman onto a car. John Cena turning on Cody Rhodes at WWE Elimination Chamber. Roman Reigns returning at SummerSlam. And finally, Io Sky beating Rhea Ripley to become the Women's World Champion. Now, there are a lot of OMG moments on this list. It is very hard to pick, to be quite honest with you. I mean, Cody Rhodes winning the WWE Undisputed Championship at WrestleMania 40 was one of the most surreal moments of life. Now, there were a couple other really shocking moments, like Dominic turning on Rhea at SummerSlam, New Day turning on Big E, Tiffany cashing in on Nia, Wyatt Six debut. There were so many, but as I'm reading this list, I'm thinking to myself, okay, what was the most shocking moments? And then finally, when I reached the third to last, I mean, I don't think it's without question that I have to pick John Cena turning on Cody Rhodes, turning heel, joining The Rock at the 2025 WWE Elimination Chamber. I mean, that gets my vote easily because while I did suspect that it could happen, I mean, seeing it was, I'm speechless. There was no words to describe watching that live. And I mean, it was just insane. So that gets my vote for sure. All right, next we have Faction of the Year. So we have the OG Bloodline, the Judgment Day, the New Bloodline, American Made, and Damage Control. Now, honestly, I really do think it comes down to just the first three of the OG Bloodline, Judgment Day, and New Bloodline. Oh, gosh, this is so hard. Wow, it's really between Judgment Day and OG Bloodline for me, because at this point last year, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley were still in the Judgment Day, I believe. So, I mean, crap. Wow, I'm going to get hate for this, but you know what? I'm just going to say Judgment Day because the run that they had was amazing. Now, the Bloodlines run was generational, but I feel like oh God, this is so hard because we're really just thinking about 2024 and 2025. We're not thinking about the entirety of the Bloodline. And so when I think of just 1 year solid, I'm going to have to go with the Judgment Day. Oh, that hurts, but I'm going to do it. All right, next we have Tag Team of the Year. So we have DIY, Awesome Truth, A-Town Down Under, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, the Motor City Machine Guns, the Bloodline, the War Raiders, the Judgment Day, the Street Profits, and Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Now, holy crap, I am biased because, already in my final few is DIY, Motor City Machine Guns. Who else? Let me see. Honestly, it really just comes down to them too, to be quite honest with you. And if you guys have been watching my podcast for a while, then you already know this is an easy category for me. It's DIY. I love DIY so much. They are so unique and creative in the ring. They bring something that we don't see very often. And the Motor City Machine Guns are very close behind them. But obviously, DIY has truly dominated for longer. And so without a doubt, they are my vote. All right, now we've got Rivalry of the Year. This is where it gets a little juicy, guys. So here are the nominees. We got CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest and Finn Balor, Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton, and finally Bloodline versus Bloodline. Now, wow. There's a lot of fantastic storylines, rivalries right here. Every single one of these is deserving of a Slammy, but I think for me personally, it really comes down to, oh God, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley was so good. So good. But so is Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, and so is Bloodline versus Bloodline. But I think for me, it comes down to Liv and Rhea and then Roman and Cody. But I think in the end, Roman and Cody, for me personally, does beat Liv and Rhea just by the slightest bit, considering the build up to WrestleMania 40 and then the match itself. I mean, oh crap. But honestly, we're not thinking about matches. We're just thinking about the rivalries, the promos, and like, oh God, I was actually confident for 0.2 seconds that it was Roman and Cody. But now that I'm thinking rivalry, it's not just matches and moments, it's promos and segments as well. And oh God, Liv in Rio is so good. Oh God, this is really hard. I know my life, it's not like my life depends on these answers, but wow. My gut is telling me that I want to go with Liv and Rhea. So that's who I'm going to pick. I personally just enjoyed it so much. And even though I enjoyed Roman and Cody just as much, I think when we're looking at just the rivalry itself, I think there was more content between Liv and Rhea than Roman and Cody since Roman wasn't always around. So I am going to pick that for that reason. The next category we have is NXT Superstar of the Year. So we have Obafemi, Roxanne Perez, Trick Williams, Ethan Page, Julia, and Kalani Jordan. Now, all of these superstars besides Roxanne Perez are very deserving of this Slammy. Now, when looking at the year that each and every one of these superstars had, I definitely have an immediate standout, and that for me is Obafemi. I think from the second he stepped foot in the NXT arena, the PC, whatever, I think he immediately dominated, and I think WWE really strapped a rocket onto his back and took him off to the moon because, you know, he's been champion quite a few times already, has had great storylines and feuds, and I truly just think he is so deserving of this Slammy, and so that's who I'm voting for. All right, next we have Match of the Year. Now, this is also probably going to be a very hard one. The nominees are Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in Hell in a Cell, Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam, Damian Priest versus Gunther at SummerSlam, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles at WWE Backlash, the 2025 Men's War Games match, Bayley versus Io Sky at WrestleMania, Sami Zayn versus Gunther at WrestleMania, Gunther versus Randy Orton at WWE Bash in Berlin, and finally Seth Rollins versus CM Punk on the Raw on Netflix premiere. Now, obviously, all fantastic matches, definitely worth a Slammy, but for me, it really comes down to Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. As much as I want to pick Liv and Rhea, I definitely do think that match could have been more than it was. The men's War Games match, holy crap, that was so good. And then obviously Seth Rollins and CM Punk, that match fed families. And this is really hard because now that I'm looking at them, crap, this is really hard because I mean, WrestleMania, Roman versus Cody. I mean, holy crap, that was an insane match. But I think a lot of the OMG moments from that wasn't even from the match. I think it was just the appearances. And so for me, that's why I'm not going to pick this match because the actual content between Cody and Roman wasn't as rich as it should have been, in my opinion. And I think the match that did completely serve that to me 110% is Seth Rollins versus CM Punk at the Raw Netflix debut. I mean, that match was a blood fest. That was everything I wanted and more. And for me, that deserves match of the year just because of how spectacular it was. And I still rewatch that match to this day because it was just that good. All right, next we have WTF Moment of the Year. And I think this is slightly different than OMG. I think OMG is a general shock. I think WTF maybe is a slightly more random category, I guess. So here are the nominees. We have R-Truth calling Triple H Champa, Kevin Owens' car interviews, Chelsea Green goes into a dumpster, Dominic Mysterio in the shark cage, I Show Speed with Logan Paul at WrestleMania, LA Knight in Logan Paul's pool, R-Truth wrestles John Cena, Rabid Noises from Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu's I Love You Solo, and finally the Wyatt Six debut. Now, this is really hard because there were so many great moments in this category, but I truly think the one WTF moment that really stands out to me is the Wyatt Six debut. I mean, everything from the lead up to it and then the way that they did it was something so unique and something I'd never seen before. And I mean, it was stunning. It was beautiful. And it definitely, you know, once they started going backstage, if you've seen it, then you know that was definitely very, you know, WTF, if you will. So they take my vote wholeheartedly on that one. All right, in our second to last category, we have Social Star of the Year, Chelsea Green and Drew McIntyre. Now, these two on social media, holy crap, they are hysterical. If you don't already follow them, literally everywhere, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you need to do so. They are so funny on there, both of them. And I'm having a really hard time picking who I think is the social star of the year. Now, Chelsea definitely does give influencer energy. She was always posting. She's so funny. But I do think I'm going to have to give this to Drew McIntyre because he utilizes social media as a tool. I think Chelsea just posts more like an influencer and is very funny about it. But Drew McIntyre really utilizes this to his advantage with his character. He is always posting very trollish, funny videos, and I mean, I think it's just very clear that he is my choice for social star of the year. And finally, we have breakout superstar of the year. The nominees are Braun Breaker, Lyra Valkyria, Penta, Obafemi, Julia, Tiffany Stratton, Jacob Fatu, Chelsea Green, and Stephanie Vaquer. Now, there is so much to unpack here. I mean, so many fantastic superstars that had their breakout years. Now, when I look through this list, it's very hard when NXT and main roster are combined in a category because they're at different levels, you know, in their career. And oh God, while we're not even so long into 2025, I think the option is very clear for me. If you listen to my podcast, there's one particular person I rave about every week on Raw, and that is Penta. He brings such a uniqueness and creative way of wrestling to the ring. He's so creative with his moves, and his moveset is just chef's kiss. I mean, I think he is so phenomenal, and even in just the couple months he's been in WWE has already been worthy of breakout superstar of the year. I know it hasn't been a full 12 months, but he is just out of this world. And I do think he is on his way to winning gold. And I could not be more excited for him, so he gets my vote. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed hearing my thoughts on each category and nominee for the 2025 WWE Slammy Awards happening. I believe it's April 20th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and it's going to be at WWE World. I think it's going to be earlier in the day, so on night 2 of WrestleMania. That day it will be happening. You guys still have so much time to vote. I believe you can still vote every single day. I will leave a link in the description box to WWE's website where you can vote on all these categories shown in this video. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell so you never miss another video. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms. And don't forget to celebrate the joy in what you love, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!